So I've just decided to just open it up. I opened up this because if it's only 8 cells and it's 4P, that means only one of these P cells, you call the P groups. So one of these P groups is basically disconnected from the rest. So it could be an easy fix. Maybe the battery's not bad. In my opinion, if it's 9 volts, the battery's probably not bad, but the connection got off. So I'm going to use a non-conductive tool. All right, you can use like a plastic knife. And go ahead and pry open the sides here. This is just silicone, so you should be able to just sort of push on it. All right, just push on the side, and it should come off real easy. So go ahead and open the case up. Now there's connectors that's connected to the top of this, so be careful you don't just pull on it too much. So I got that open, and it seems like the connections are okay. So this way I can open it up and measure the voltages of each battery group and see which one went bad, or in my opinion it's not bad. One of the connectors somehow, like I said, probably came off. So it could be a real easy fix instead of sending it back. And plus all this stuff is, I think it's more than necessary, but I could just simply apply silicone glue back and make it waterproof again. But I think they overdid it with the battery compartment here. But this is why I like to have a battery pack insulated. That way you don't have to do extra waterproofing. So put a heat shrink on top of it. I think that's a better way to do it instead of just integrating into the whole board. That makes repair a lot harder. Like my boards, you can literally just take the battery pack out and replace it. So I think there's advantages and disadvantages to making it like this. The disadvantages just makes it really hard to repair or replace a battery because it's just built into the case. And I'm sure Ownboard has a lot of customers that the battery went bad and they can't do nothing about it. So they're left with a $1,000 paperweight. Alright. So this is the BMS right here. So there's 4 P groups. We call it P groups, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Each of these have 10 cells of battery. And actually, no, there's battery here too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's a 10S4P, but it's got 5 groups. So that's kind of interesting layout. So 1, 2, 3. Oh, so it's 8 cells each. Right, so I'm not sure how they connected the wires. Here. This is the BMS. Let me just grab these things out. 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, with everything off, now I can actually test out all the groups and go ahead and check out what's wrong with it. Okay, so if you do undo this fish paper here, you get the positive terminal. This is a positive terminal. And you can do a test from there to any of these P groups. So let me go ahead and try. So I get 16 volts here to the last one here. Let me see if I can get to this guy. So the first P group is over here. Let me try to go over here. And I'm getting 33 volts. So somehow, I'm only getting 8 or 9 volts. So this might have nothing to do with, this could be just this connector here. I'm not sure what this guy is over here. Oh, this is a USB power. USB power causing the problems, maybe? It could possibly be the extra USB power here, right? So I'm going to try to unplug it because I don't ever use this. So I unplugged the USB And let me go ahead and see if that fixes the problem. Oh! Oh, it was a USB module. I'm at 42 volts. So all you have to do to fix this Ownboard, I didn't even need a new battery. Look at this. So I just fixed it. Now I'm getting full 40 volts, near 40 volts. So this battery module, this one here, this thing that goes to the USB port, somehow was affecting it. It's just broken. So just simply unconnect it, and boom, I have a working battery again. Let me go and power on now. And it might be out of battery, so let me go ahead and try to charge it. If it does charge, then we're good to go. Wow, incredible. This is why understanding electronics will help you avoid all the hassle of even contacting Ownboard. So let me see if it charges now. It should charge just fine. See, I got 41.4 volts. So this battery is actually almost nearly full. But when I plug it into the connector here, it doesn't power up for some reason. So I'm getting 41 volts out of this, but for some reason it's not turning on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and measure the actual B minus here. This is the battery negative terminal. I took some of the silicone off using my plastic tool. This way I can get the exact measurement between these two. So B plus, and I'm getting 33 volts. Oh, you know what? Sorry, that's the wrong one. I have to take this one out. My bad. Actually, the big red wire where it goes, that's the actual terminal plus. Now you can just take the silicone off with some kind of plastic tool. Hey, later you can apply something, some heat gun or hot glue over it. So just open it enough where you can access the terminal. So I'm going to go to the B battery plus terminal and the battery minus, and I get 41.4 volts. Now let me connect it here, see what voltage I get, and why would it not turn on? And I'm getting 22.6 volts. So I don't know how that could happen. So I'm only getting 23 volts when it's connected to the HobbyWing. When it's not connected to HobbyWing, I'm actually getting 41.4 volts. I'm thinking there could be something wrong with the HobbyWing itself, but it works with the other. Oh. I would say this is actually the BMS that's gone bad. I believe so. It does charge fine, but the output of the BMS, the actual load output goes through the BMS at current moment, as you can see from the BMS. And something is broken within the BMS where it outputs power. So a simple way we can fix this is simply directly connect this to the negative terminal of the whole pack, which I'll have to find. Then the board should work just fine. But what's wrong with right now? Now I know it's actually the BMS. The battery pack's fine. The HobbyWing's fine. The BMS is not putting out the power. So something have shorted with the BMS. The BMS has definitely gone bad. So all I have to do is really go ahead and find, go ahead and unplug this. And I need to find where I get 41.4 volts, not through the BMS, but through the battery pack. So let me go ahead and try that. Let me find out. Maybe this BMS has a connector. So let me just open this up real quick. Aha! Yes, I think I found it. So that's got to be the right one. Check it out. So that's got to be the negative. See, it's a big blob. It's at 37.7. No, it should be at 41.5. So that's not it. This could be hit over here. So we're gonna just have to open it up. Just use a plastic tool. Ah, yeah, this is it right here. So it's hiding underneath all this stuff. Yeah, right here, we got it. So take all this gunk off, and we're gonna probably solder this directly there. Okay, let's go ahead and measure this out. So that guy right there is the battery negative. That's entering into the BMS. But it doesn't matter, we can connect directly. Yes, that's it, 41.9 volts. So that's it right there, guys. So because it's the whole pack, the plus starts here and the negative starts here. So the only thing we have to do is basically go ahead and unplug the negative here. Let me go ahead and unplug it. And I'm going to go grab my solder. And I'm going to go ahead and just simply unsolder this guy. Or I might even just cut it off. Yeah, let's just cut it off. I don't really feel like doing much with it. Right? So be very careful with this guy here. And we're going to get some extra wires so we have enough space, because it won't reach like this. Oh, can it reach? Be very careful with this. You don't want to suddenly short something. Don't hit any of the metal parts. And I'm going to go ahead and bypass BMS, and we should have a fixed Ownboard. Took quite a while to figure it out. But by carefully trying to assess the situation, we found it. And I'll go ahead and put fish tape all over it so it's all insulated. That should be fine. But yeah, let me see if I have enough room for it, if I just directly plug it in so I don't have to do anything. Yeah, I have enough room to just simply plug it in there. So I just need to get rid of all that gunk over there. So what you should check is the positive terminal and this guy over here. And I'm going to be very careful and scrape this out. Okay, I got it out. Let's get the solder and we're going to go ahead and fix this. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just put some extra solder on top of this here. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and mount the other wire on there. Now be very careful you don't drop the solder everywhere. Just have it right over where you're going to work on. I just grabbed a piece because it's just sort of working over here. And I'm just going to, it's just heating up. And we'll get this thing fixed in no time. And show you that it's faulty BMS, and you can simply bypass it by plugging it into the battery negative. So I had too much coffee. And we're just going to make a big giant blob here and get it mixed in with the existing thing there. Alright. Okay, I made a giant blob that's melting in with the existing thing there. That's good. And next I'm going to go ahead and cut some of this out so I can attach it there. And that should be pretty much it. But let me double check that's not shorting. Alright. And we're going to just go ahead and do that. And let me angle it this way so it doesn't take up too much space. Okay, once in there, I'm going to go ahead and apply a little bit more solder on top of the wire and around it. Just get a nice flush in there. Because you don't want this thing to come off while you're riding. That will also cause havoc. So I've got it all the way around nicely in there. That's not coming off. Very good soldering job. Pat yourself on the back. Let it dry for a few seconds. Make sure it's really tight. See how I can even pull the weight of the whole board. And later on, we will put some hot glue over it so it doesn't come apart. And now I'm going to go ahead and connect. Moment of truth. You guys ready? This is going to work. We just fixed it, I think. No? No, nothing. Oh, it did work! Woohoo! And boom shakalaka, baby. So all I did was move from here to there. And voila, we fixed the board. Something caused the failure of the BMS to malfunction. and it's probably a faulty BMS. So if you guys are watching Ownboard, I would advise doing a BMS bypass like this for the future, because you don't actually need to go through the BMS, because BMS is what causes accidents. If the BMS cuts off, your board stops and you're going 20 miles per hour and you get thrown off the board. Or stuff like this happens and it stops. It just malfunctions the whole board. And you can see it fits perfectly. And also don't use the USB. It's also malfunctioning. That could be a problem too. But let me see if it... Yeah, I'm just going to leave it off. So I'm going to go ahead and grab some hot glue. And I'm going to hot glue everything, insulate everything. And I'm going to also silicone everything over. And we should be good to go. Or maybe I should just silicone everything. Guys, I'm so happy that I was able to fix this. But thanks to my background in circuits, I mean, if you understand the basics of circuits, and you can learn this through books or online, volts, how the volts work, then you can fix anything. And I just proved to you that this was a really easy fix. And instead of having Ownboard send me a brand new unit, so they were obviously using a BMS that's faulty. Because I didn't do anything, this voltage started floating, and the voltage coming out of the BMS started messing up. Alright? That should not happen. And that's nicely in there. And I've got hot glue, and we're going to go ahead and hot glue all the spots. Like this spot I cut off. I don't want that to hit anything. And any spots that's exposed, like I expose all those points because I had to test it out. And then we should be good to go. Or you could just put some Kapton tape over it too. And as far as waterproofing everything, I don't think that's necessary. But I guess you could. Yeah, you should actually waterproof it. So same thing could be happening to a lot of you guys with a battery that's not charging. Your battery might be fine. Usually if there's no fires or sparks and you've been charging your battery fine, it should be fine. But just open up your battery first and check out the voltage between here and here, unplugged, or just check the voltage here, unplug it, and if it's at, and after you unplug it from the HobbyWing and it's at near 40 volts, then it's not your battery pack, it's the BMS. So that goes there. You can use silicone also, but I prefer hot glue because it's a lot more, when it completely dries, it becomes super hard. So I'm glad, because I thought I don't have to contact Ownboard and talk to them, because I think there weren't. Just make sure the wire's not touching any metal stuff, because just to be safe. Oh, I'm so happy. I feel really smart today. It's a really easy fix. But yeah, I know, a lot of people are actually probably going through the same thing, because I've been hearing, like for last, I got this like last year, September. No, I got this last year, I think in December. Ever since that, I've had zero problems, and suddenly I have this problems that people have been talking about. And I think this could be causing a lot of headache for other people. But you can follow this guide and fix your own board. So hold that down. While that's going, I'm going to go ahead and insulate all these exposed parts. Alright, anything that I scraped off. And over here by the positive terminal. So guys, I siliconed everything. Just sort of a hack job, but I just made sure there's no holes and stuff. And I'm going to let it dry. But my board works now. I just bypassed BMS. It was such a simple fix. It just works fine. Have a great day. Fix your own board. If this happens to you, I think this could be happening to a lot of customers, because I did not abuse my board. I just always charge it, and the BMS, basically the output to the load went bad. But easy fix. You put it to the battery negative directly, right? It's a really simple fix. And also disconnect from the USB. That module is also something wrong with it, I think. So those two problems can cause it. So this way, you just focus on writing. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe for more cool tips like this, repairs. And if you have any questions, leave in the thought box below. See you guys later.